When you're building and launching a product for the first time, how do you know what features you need to add in order to be ready? Welcome back to Listen to Leo. In today's video, I wanted to walk you through my thought process on building out the product roadmap as you're in the process of launching a brand new product. And so to set the scene, I just launched the earliest alpha version of myAIcofounder.com, which is an AI co-founder, as this. Now, the first thing I did is I actually did set up a landing page with a wait list. This I don't always do. But in this case, I was talking about it and I wanted to see how well my messaging resonated. And so I actually got some compliments on the copy, which is a first for me, honestly. And so that told me I was going down the right track. And I used that momentum to kind of carry into actually launching the initial version of it. And so I'm currently set up with a couple of users, just free users right now. I haven't set up any payment plans or anything like that. And so in this initial launch, it's all about the chat experience and seeing if users actually put in a decent amount of information into the profile. So they sign up, they get a profile, they tell the app about themselves and their business, and it gives them access to a co-founder. So what comes next? Well, first of all, it's mostly about just finding a few more users. So I've got a couple, want to find a few more. I also set up a user interview with one of my users who was interested so that I can get an idea of what she's looking for in the product, see how she handles different challenges that she's facing, to see exactly how this will look moving forward. Now, I do have a plan for how I'm going to monetize. So I'm setting it up with the idea of like a subscription plan. If you buy an annual plan, I'm actually going to give you a custom AI co-founder that you can use that has its own backstory, has its own like profile picture. And so it's going to be kind of customizable. This is also going to be available for kind of a single time purchase sort of thing. Because I want to see if it actually is enough to incentivize users to put a little more into their co-founder. I think this will hopefully make it a better fit for their specific business, as well as kind of giving them more of a sense of ownership over their co-founder. That sounds really weird. Okay. I have to think about how I messed with that one. But going forward, what am I going to build next? So in terms of the subscription, I may have to start instituting that sooner rather than later. I've got to get a feel for exactly like how much this is going to cost to run. That's one of the other things I'm trying to do early on is just see how much usage correlates to like my OpenAI bill, for example. But I think it's going to be pretty reasonable based on average amount of usage, which again, I don't know. So we're going to have to figure that out as users start using the platform. And then the kind of big feature that I actually have as kind of a selling point on the landing page is the ability to teach the AI co-founder different things, either by giving it blogs, YouTube videos, or podcasts. Now, I already actually have almost all of this functionality built. I've just got to hook it up into this specific app. From launching a bunch of different products, I've created this functionality and set it up to be ready to go. So I just need to work on integrating that in. And this is something else I'm actually looking as a potential upsell for users to have kind of the base level that allows you to kind of do this maybe once a week, once a month. Again, got to figure out kind of the unit economics, but because that does cost extra money, depending on whether it is a YouTube video or a podcast or whatever, I've got to figure out how to set that up in a way that's easy enough to understand, but also useful to the user. And again, I think this idea of letting them put some effort into making their co-founder better in ways that they want their co-founder to improve is going to be really helpful from both a user stickiness perspective and a data perspective. It's going to help me understand what those users are looking to accomplish and what sources they're using to train these AIs, right? And so hopefully this gives you some insight into how I think about it. You may say, like, oh, you talked about a product roadmap and you didn't really say exactly what you were doing next. And that's because I haven't actually talked to any of my users yet. And so here is the absolute secret. You have to talk to users. And I'm telling you this because I'm telling myself this constantly. Um, it's really easy to just get into the habit of build, 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 and then, yay, great. And I have no users. But by talking to users, by really understanding their problems, you're going to get a much better feel for what you actually need to build. And so I have a lot of ideas about what I want to build, but until I actually have my first user interview or maybe 2 or 3, I'm probably not going to build a whole lot else. Might start hooking up some of the pieces that I know are already there to be hooked up. But it's mostly about just getting people to try it and start using it and start giving me feedback. So that's the key to really iterating in product development. You have to figure out what your users actually want. Don't get too caught up in what you think they want, because that's really easy to do. And I've done it enough to tell you that that's really easy to do and doesn't lead to products that are very successful. So talk to your users, get a feel for what their actual problems are, understand their problems better than they understand their own problems, and use that to drive your roadmap forward. Anyway, hope that's helpful. Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.